What's up? What's going on, my friends? How you doing? We're here to talk about Magic's current effect on LGSs, the new Magic, specifically things like Markov Manor. But anyways, before I start to get into that, I'm going to share the live stream link in the Discord, and then we'll do our hellos. We must observe the proper forms. Reality will crumble if we don't. All right. All right. That's good. That's good. Okay. Now I switch it up so I can see all you friendly peoples in the chat. All right. So, who do we got in here? What's up? Clayton, Jess, Eng, Zircon, Dom. 3 in the morning, huh, buddy? All right. Madness, Millmaster, Tectonic. Who else do we have in here? Error, Gossett, Gianna, Alan, Shelton, Lucas, Ned. What's going on? How you guys doing on this fine Thursday evening that my brain keeps telling me is Friday? Like, for real, the original stream title tonight was Friday Night Chill Stream. And then I went, wait a minute. No, it's not. And I also want to talk about what's going on with LGSs. So I'm going to make... This is like a subject that's going to come up somewhat in a video as well. But I just kind of wanted to talk about... Because I'm just going to specifically be talking about Markov Manor in like the video. In this, I just kind of wanted to talk overall about the current like ecosystem of the LGS, and specifically ones that are dependent on Magic the Gathering, right? What up, Ciorty? How's it going? So, basically, what's going on? This is spurred on by the fact that game stores are straight up returning Magic to distributors. Now, that is not a common occurrence, right? Like, first of all, we're just going to get into the way this all works, because there's a bunch of people who don't really understand the chain of how a Magic product makes it into an LGS and then into your hands, right? What up, Devo? How you doing? And things in that way have changed over time as well, where some things that existed previously in the distribution chain don't exist, and new things have entered the distribution chain, right? So the biggest changes are Amazon and Wizards stopping Wizard Direct, as far as I'm concerned. So basically how it goes is you order your Magic the Gathering through a distributor. If you didn't have a distributor, you used to be able to go through Wizards Direct and get stuff from them, right? But otherwise, you would just pick a distributor who is in your area, and like, I guess, who you prefer to do business with. Some people use multiple distributors. Some people just have one distributor. There's, I don't know. If I had to guess off the top of my head, from what I've seen, in at least like in the Canada part of things, at least in my neck of the woods, at most, there is a dozen distributors. And I really think there's only like a handful of major distributors. But LGSs are in the worst possible position as businesses, okay? Now, I'm going to speak in generalities. There will be some LGSs that totally do not match what I'm about to say, because there's different varieties of LGSs. But as far as I'm concerned, the majority of LGSs are individual LGSs that are not big, huge, sprawling businesses that employ tons and tons of people. They tend to be a labor of love, where the person running the game store is running the game store because, yo, this is how I make money, right? Like, in terms of enjoying myself. But this isn't how I make money, right? Like, you go to school to be like a butt doctor to make money, where you go, hey, I'm gonna like spend 6 years learning to stick a flashlight tube up inside people and figure out if they got Smurfs living in their intestines and stuff, and I'm gonna make crazy money. And yeah, I'm gonna have to tube butt people, and it's gonna suck, but I'm gonna make crazy big, right? But also, I mean, there's going to be an element of doctors wanting to help people, but I'm just saying from a money perspective, it's like nobody, or I guess almost nobody, opens up an LGS thinking it's going to make them a cheddar. Like, I'm going to get rich from this. Gordo, what's up, buddy? Tarkus, how's it going? So, like, when people open up LGSs, it usually goes like this. Okay, here's the business plan. I'm going to open an LGS. And it's like, do you have a plan? Yeah, the plan is to open a LGS. No, like a business plan. Like, you've gone ahead and done a, like, kind of like a market analysis for the area you're living in. No, I just need 3 letters, son. LGS. I don't know what you're talking about. Market hoo-ha. Get that out of here. No, but you need to, like, figure out the density of the same kind of business, the demand level for that kind of business. Can your area sustain one game store? Are there any other game stores in the area? Like, it's like if you want to open up a business where it's like, I'm opening up a place and it's called Martha's Titty Painting, and it's not what you think. It's literally, I will only paint the tits of ladies named Martha who come to this business. And it's like, so are there enough Marthas in your geographic location who want you to paint their jugs, who are willing to pay for this? Like, those are the questions you're supposed to be asking when you open a business. But LGS owners on the whole, I think, are just like, bro, how dope would it be to be the guy who gets the games for people, to be a place where people can play games? I can get my Magic cheaper, right? There's other elements as well. Understand, obviously, we're going to focus on the Magic, like, side of it. But, like, yeah, LGS owners, by and large, like, the majority, because I don't even know the exact amount of LGSs in the city anymore, but the majority, and the ones that I am known for the longest time, are run by people who ran a game store because that's what they wanted to run. So, for example, the main game store that I go to, you have the guy who owned it before he passed on. He was like, he loved board games and he loved tabletop gaming and he liked Magic and stuff like that too. He really was more passionate about board games, but the card games helped pay for things, and obviously he kept that flowing as well. But he wanted to have a place that, like, we don't sell any digital games. It's all about just physical games, sitting down and playing. And like 60% of his store is play space, right? Like, he's paying more for places for people to play in than he is for retail setup. You don't see that in a lot of game stores, actually. But anyways, so that game store has been handed off now to somebody else who, he's not running it to maximize profit. Like, for example, with the Lorcana stuff, people were scalping the boxes of Lorcana online for like $350 or whatever, when the boxes were going for like $200 here. So when people asked him for boxes, he would be like, yeah, he's like, I don't want him to go to scalpers though, so we're just we're pulling, like, you come into the store, you buy the box, and we pull the little cardboard tab in store so that it's not like, you just do it right in front of us so that it's not going to be sold on eBay or whatever. So if you want to buy it and you keep it sealed, we're selling it for the same price as online. So you got to pay the $350 or whatever. But if you're willing to open the box because you actually just want to play with the stuff, then you can pay this price, right? So that's not good business. That's like, in terms of just pure business, that's not good business. That's stupid. If you can get $350 for a product and people are paying $350 all day for it, then why are you selling it for $200? Oh, because you actually want to support the game and have people play it instead of just sending it off online and who cares what happens to the game, right? Like, LGS owners make choices that don't put money in their pockets, but put people into games. They prioritize it. Now, there are some people who are running the big LGSs that are huge churn businesses, and those are a side topic. They're not part of this conversation because they have a completely different business model. It's all like, they have big sprawling online setups, all of it. So the majority of LGSs that I've encountered are just little, like, basically not they're not a hole in the wall level, but you know what I mean? They're like whatever level places. And the people who got into these businesses, they don't have a master's in business. They don't even have a business plan. It's just, let's I hope I can do it. Let's just throw money into it and see what happens. LGSs are an amazing way to lose money, especially when it comes to Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering is like, I can't imagine a worse retail product to sell. I'm genuinely racking my brain right now, and this is just dawning on me at this moment as it all comes together. Thinking about it from the perspective of being a person running a business, Magic is like the worst product to have to retail. Like, for real, you have no idea. No idea. Like, here's the thing, man. People hear that, like, that Magic shops can make a 10%, can make a 10% margin on booster boxes, right? And they go, wow, they're making 10% on the box. That's no, 10% margin equals, that's how much money they get on top of what it costs them to get the product. So you're looking at a situation where all their costs have to come out of that margin. And like most other things that sell in a game store like that, all the board games and everything, they have a margin of like 50%. So you've got a tiny margin, but then you have the fact that the Magic player base has been super financialized. So they basically come in and go, excuse me, but I'm like my own store and I sell online and I come to these events to come out ahead. Yeah, I know Magic's a game and a hobby and everything, but I have to be like EV plus on this event. So I'm going to try and grind you down on the price of every box. I'm buying multiple boxes. Can you drop the price a little? Also, can I get all these extra promos? There's just all these little angles that the consumer works to get what they want, but there's no extra room, right? Like Wizards doesn't give room on the other side. So it's literally everything comes out of this tiny little margin. We're trying to make money off of it is super difficult. The only thing you can make money off of is like well-designed products that people really want, right? That's what sells. That's what sells. That's not really what Wizards is in the business of making right now, though, is it? Is it? They're like, this Markov Manor stuff is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I'm gonna use a real world example from somebody that I've spoken to, and this is from my memory, so the numbers might be a little bit rough in terms of maybe the percentage is slightly different, but it's a very startling picture. So basically, how it goes is normally when stores get Magic, it's like sit on it, it'll eventually sell. Magic always sells, right? If you wonder also why you don't see like when game stores are like sales on board games 25% off, and then it just says like Magic not included. If you're wondering why, it's because there's no room to discount it at all. At least not for LGSs like in places like where I am. Maybe if you're in a bigger city and you can push higher prices, perhaps, but it's absolutely brutal. So the distribution works like this. Wizards gets the stuff to distributors and Amazon now too, okay? You as a game store, you end up ordering through your distributor, but the relationship you have with the distributor is mafia-esque almost. Like the distributor has all of the power, right? Because they're the one they have what you need. They set the prices for this stuff, what you're going to pay. And they will give you better deals, but only when you're spending more money. So the more money you're flowing into them, the more ability that you have to maneuver for deals and things like that. LGSs don't have huge bankrolls. They're working on super slim margins, like 10% margins. And that's where they got to cover all their costs and make a profit. So you've got that going on. And then the distributors, like, I've seen a bunch of comments from people who don't understand, and they think, yo, these stores are stupid. Why don't they just buy the sets that are good, a bunch of it, and not buy the sets that are bad? And it's like, oh, well, let me clue you in to the store experience. Here's how it works. When it's time for you to pre-order, when it's time for you to put in your order with your distributor and decide how much of the set you're going to buy, here's how much you know about the set. The name. And if you're lucky, a tiny little bit of what the flavor concept is for it, maybe. but you know the name. And now you have to decide how much of this stuff you're going to buy. And you can't just go, oh, this awesome product, I want a ton of this, and this stuff that is no good, I don't want any of it. The distributors are just like, no. See, these are allotted. So you can have, like, basically, you represent about 2% of this. So you can have 2% of this. And it's like, oh, okay. So what does that mean? Well, how many did you want to order? I wanted to order 26 boxes of this. Okay, well, we crunched the numbers. You can have one, right? Like, and then they'll also send you like duplicitous emails going, great news. We have an unlimited amount of, because you're a great customer with us, we're going to let you buy as much March of the Machine Aftermath as you want. Unlimited amounts. And it's just like, okay, like months and months after this, what is this? You know? So you have to spend a certain level with them. The distributors have all the power. You put all the money in first, right? Basically, or like shortly thereafter. Either, depending on your relationship with the distributor, you have to prepay when you order this stuff, or you have to pay as soon as it shows up. Maybe if you have a good relationship, you have up to a month to pay or whatever, right? That's obviously going to be varying from business to business, distributor to distributor. But you got the situation where you sink all this money in. What up, Beasley? You sink all this money in. And then you're looking at it going, okay, what do I do? What do I do? Well, one of the game store owners that I was talking to said this. They're like, yo, there's a new Lorcana release coming. There's also a brand new Star Trek game. Star Wars? One of the two, I don't remember. Just the point is, it's another card game, right? These both require resources to purchase. So 75% of the Markov Manor stuff that he got is being sent back to the distributor. And I said, I didn't even know you could do that. I thought this stuff was so bad that they wouldn't even let you take it back. But it turns out they will. All you have to do is pay them 15%, a 15% restocking fee. So for every $100 worth of product you ordered, you're eating a $15 loss. Bam, 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 right? And booster boxes here are $210 now for a play booster box. I don't know the exact like purchase price from any given distributor, but it's gotta be right up there. Cause like I said, remember, 10% margins or whatever. So like that number may move a little bit and we're just using it as a generalized, but that is, if you ask around, that is what you're looking at. So like you're eating this huge loss, right? And so I said, yo, this is crazy. I said, Markov Manor is the first time I can think of people telling me this, right? Like, and then he went, no, I've done it before. And I was like, wait, hold up, when? And he's like, I think it was one of the Commander sets. And it's like Commander Masters, right? Commander Masters, surprise, surprise, was so awful. Same thing had to happen, right? So it's gross because Wizards just goes, whoop, it's out the door. It's not our problem. And you have to, hey, Foster. Yeah, Foster runs an LGS. He gets it. Ordering blind sucks. That's it. Imagine if you had to order all your Magic in advance and it was the only way. It's crazy. Yellow Metal, your LGS guy, said he's planning on skipping some sets. Of course. This is insane. Like, if this is what I had to deal with, I would nope out of selling Magic. It would be too stressful. It's too stressful. You can eat huge losses. You can lose 15%. Like, oh, you ordered 4 times what you should have ordered, but you just ordered what felt like a normal amount. So now you don't get to sell that 75%, but you do get to pay us 15% of that 75%. And you only made 25% of the sales that you were anticipating. So enjoy that virtually non-existent margin, bro. Go into the game store. I saw a pile of the Markov Manor pre-release kits. Those things usually sell a lot faster. He told me he had dozens and dozens left. Like, it's really rough. It's really rough being an LGS, man, for real. For real. So you got Amazon as well. And Amazon regularly does these crazy dumps. You can't usually get them in Canada, so it doesn't affect the game stores here to the same level. But they do these crazy Amazon dumps. Like, there's all this stuff that Wizards does And like the secret layers, they're not giving anybody else a taste of that, right? Like it's all just buy these singles directly from us. We're going to put 4 singles in a box. There'll be maybe one that's worth something. Like all the people who are saying, what is the one card that actually matters? Did they make a new Sakashima? I think they made Sakashima. So everyone's going, get Sakashima, get Sakashima. Why? Why? By any indication, Wizards of the Coast no Sakashima is people want it. It's going to be reprinted in another set soon. How could it not be? I wouldn't be surprised to see Sakashima wearing a cowboy hat in the next Thunder Junction set, right? Like, there is no reason to expect that the singles that are in these secret layers aren't going to be reprinted in these sets. But Wizards is trying to grab as much of the money as they can ahead of time by making sure that all the hubbub around these big cards is directed to buying straight from them instead of let's like hook the LGSs up. Like, it's crazy. James P, you know I pick up a bunch of pre-release on Blowout. Yeah, see, that's brutal, right? You buy the stuff, and then you have to sell it off at a discount just to recover your money. And in the entire time, you just didn't have that money, which means you couldn't have other products you were buying. It's crazy. It's crazy to me that some people think that they just don't buy the bad ones and buy the good ones. You only know the name. Like, if that was how it went for you as a Magic player, how many sets would it take before you said, forget it? Like, depending on how connected you are to a game, all it takes is one bad set for somebody to bounce. Like, Ghost in the Shell for Force of Will, that card game, that set made me go, I can't believe that I purchased this. I can't believe that I purchased this box. I feel genuinely insulted as a customer. This is absolutely absurd, and I will never spend another fucking penny on another box. And I never did. I never spent another penny on Force of Will. I could forgive some of the things they had done, but that set in its entirety was too much of a slap in the face. And that's what Wizards is making now with this clue garbage. It's aggravating. It's aggravating. I am the fucking long-term son of the LGS. And by that I mean I started playing Magic when I was 15 in an LGS. Been going to that same LGS for decades. All the LGSs that I know of in the city, they're all run by people who came up through that LGS. I played in tons and tons of tournaments there, won a whole bunch of tournaments, had an awesome time. Turned into the guy running the tournaments and hooking people up with cards and had an awesome time. And then phased into all of this. But like, my love for the LGS has never gone away. I remember when I went to Toronto and I was like, we had like just moved up to Toronto and I was supposed to go and find a grocery store. And I stepped out and like, it's a busy Toronto street. And up in this second store window, I noticed this little blue banner, Magic. And I'm like, there's an LGS here. So I had to like run around trying to find the secret entrance into this place. I love LGSs, man. There's just something about it. There's just something about it. They're my home for weirdos, right? What are you gonna do? They got the games that I like. They got the fun stuff, all of it. Like, I love them. And the thing as well is I know what they are. They're sweet, beautiful flowers. They're labors of love. Do you know how much of a hassle it is to run an LGS versus the amount of money you make, bro? Pretty much everybody who runs an LGS that I know has like a spouse who has a regular job and helps support everything because there's no way it would work otherwise. And the only guy I know who's killing it running an LGS fucking hates it. It's a nonstop grind. He works his ass off and he's basically just an online retailer that also happens to have a local game store. He is too big for me to really consider him in the same category, but he fucking hates it. It's miserable and he hates it. So regular LGSs are places that are usually poorly run businesses, but they're labors of love and they're rare and they're disappearing. And it's harsh. It's harsh to watch Wizards just not care, try and get money for Hasbro, and the LGSs get burnt to the ground and left in the dust. Hey, Nick! Welcome back to being a channel member. Bear that shield with pride. Yeah. Oh, and the deck boxes. The deck boxes, the goodness. Foster, you paid $178 for the play booster. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's your cost, $180, right? And you've sold one box out of 30. Yeah, like a handful of boxes. That's how many I hear people selling, because the set is not compelling. It doesn't excite people. It's not pulling them in. It's obvious that it's not cohesive. Like, they're talking about a dedication more to lore, and they spent the money to write 10 lore articles, but they're not like, they didn't make the set stick together right. It's incredibly obnoxious. Like, if you look at the booster box, it literally has the Ustith was his original name. They changed it to Kylox. They have the Viashino Kylox on the box. It's like, he was important enough to be on the box. Can you make him important in the story and the set? And it's like, well, no, because we have artwork from before, but we're not going to tell you what the story is, but we're going to have this guy's vehicle and other things, when it's like, all he did was, he was in the sewer for a minute. They found him in the sewer. He walked down a hallway, and then he accidentally died. And that was it. He had no impact on the story at all. Like, none. And yet you have him as a feature art. Like, if it saves a couple of bucks, screw it if it makes sense. But this all adds up. It all compounds. They don't understand. Tons of people will just quietly leave. Like, when I quit Force of Will, I didn't do it with a rant. I didn't do it with whatever. I just left. A lot of people just quietly leave and never come back. It's very few people who will give you accurate, like, genuine feedback when they're unhappy, because a lot of people just say, I'm done with you, right? So, like, and people's brains, whether they pick up on it consciously or not, don't like it when things don't make sense. If it doesn't add up, it makes people feel uncomfortable or stupid. That's the option. Either they feel uncomfortable because something's not right, and we're all animals. And if something's not right and you're uncomfortable, that means you're not safe, right? And I know this sounds a little bit absurd in one way, but you have to understand, these are all things that affect people fucking psychologically, and at the end of the day, you're selling cardboard rectangles to animals. An emotional connection matters. I know it for a fact, because the whole reason I got into Magic was because the flavor and concept of personal incarnation resonated so strongly with me as being incredibly epic that it pulled me, like, wholeheartedly into the game. And I've been here ever since, right? Like, I am obviously one of the long-term hardcore, like, OG Magic players, and there are less and less of us, because Wizards is just, they went, okay, we're not making the game for you guys anymore. Like, this whole thing that you're used to, we're not doing that anymore. Now we're going Willy Wonka dumb fuck with it. And you can hit the road anyways, because all you guys are not who we're looking for as customers right now. But hold on. Before you go, can we milk you with the Brothers War? Can we milk you with the Brothers War? And can we try and totally fuck your ass with Magic 30? Like, can we just rip you off on the largest scale possible based on nostalgia and lies and going, hey, these aren't real Magic cards, but check it out, we put more dual lands in the box. It's like, you said they're collector items, right? Yeah, for collecting, not for playing, right? That's right. So why are there higher incidences of the most desirable playable cards like Sol Ring and dual lands? Well, it's definitely not because we intended you to play with these. Hey, wait a minute. Why is everybody going with these gold-bordered, back-bordered cards from other websites now? No. You use gold-backed cards, but only ones you bought from us in $1,000 boxes. If you want to use gold-bordered cards from anywhere else, that's not okay. Sure, they're printed to a higher quality. And yeah, they're both not tournament legal, but why are tons of people selling off their collections? Yeah. Wizards got so high that they thought they could milk the reserve list and the player base, and also just give it to Magic artists who they stole artwork from. Multiple instances of violating the royalty agreements, just going, oh no, we can just use this artwork, just hoping that they wouldn't get caught. That's it. It's insane. Rob, your buddy used to be really into lore, but it confused you. I have always loved magic lore. I own every magic novel and know an absurd about I know an absurd amount about magic lore because I'm a sucker for a good story. And speaking of which, holy shit, the story behind the God Emperor in Warhammer 40K is amazing. Bro, I knew that he was like an astral beacon, okay? I knew that part. And I knew that he held the chaos gods at bay. But I did not know his origin story. I didn't know about the Eldari webway and all that. Like, bro, it's absolutely awesome. I'm getting more into Warhammer 40K lore, and I'm probably going to be popping some of that up on Fantasy Geographic because, bro, it's wild. It's pretty sick. I love good stories. I have a very deep imagination, and I love it being fed. So, like, you notice all the different details that I pick over. This stuff all adds up, man. So when Wizards doesn't care that it all, like when they're putting out apologies going, hey, sorry, we put out unfinished versions of the art. And it's like, the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Why are we getting unfinished art along with Capenna, Ravnica stapled together with crap from all the other sets? You don't take the 15 minutes to actually go, people are going to see this artwork. Maybe we should have the character who's here, like on the main box, actually do something because they know Aurelia and they know Massacre Girl and Proft we're really showcasing. And there's one other person on the box I can't remember, but everybody knows him. And then you've got Kylox. And it's like, do something with him, motherfuckers. Do something. Justin, you love the Emperor and you're a Chaos fan? Oh, get out of here. Burn the heretics. Burn the heretics. Xeno scum. Let me get my bolt pistol or whatever the hell it's called. They put sorcery on an instant? Yup. Like, for real, man, after reading about the Emperor and the Golden Throne, I'm like, man, gotta get me a Golden Throne model. That's cool. That's cool. So yeah, man, LGSs get left in the lurch because you're sitting there where it's like you can make maybe a 10% margin, and if you don't want the product and want to give it back, you got to eat a 15% loss. We're not talking about making any profit then. Just straight up, you got to eat a loss so that you can try and pick other products that won't poison your store. Magic has become like so poisonous for LGSs, and I don't know, man. If you go to certain parts of the internet, they talk about me like I'm a crazy person. But like even if you find the threads where people are hating on me, you'll always find some people going, "Look, I don't like the guy, but he's right." You know what I mean? Like you'll find that they're like, "I can't stand him. I hate the way he talks. I hate his face. But here's the thing: when he says Wizards is fucking up, he's right. What he's saying is right." And he's one of the few people who's saying it. So unless you got some other options for me, this is the best we got. And I laugh when I see that. I'm like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? There's only like 2 women at the bar. So get as drunk as it takes. Because I'm who you're going home with. Also, by the way, I'm the fucking best. So suck it. Millmaster says, I have a golden throne. You want to sit on it? Look, man, if you think $2 is going to get me to sit in a chair and take a leak on your face, well, $2 is $2, son. You're lord of the board, big boy. A few people have shown off their Golden Throne dioramas. They look great. That's cool, man. That's cool. Diorama is such a nerdy word. It just makes me think of crappy school stuff, right? When I think of like models being set up in some kind of scene or whatever, it's funny how that works. Oh man. So yeah, like I went to the LGS for like forever. And I also have to admit that like for me the LGS, this isn't some place that I went occasionally. Like, I was, and still am, obsessed with Magic the Gathering. That has not changed decades later, right? So I would go to the LGS all the time. I remember in high school, one glorious semester, I had spares the entire afternoon. So I would get up, go to school, and then at noon, I didn't have to do anything for the rest of the day. So I would go to the LGS every day because I was there on the weekends to play Magic. I was there every day from like noon to close. And I remember like every Tuesday, the game store owner would send me down the street to get us both these little personal pepperoni pizzas. And I'd have those. And my buddy, who actually owns a different game store in the city now, he would come down and we would play different games like Shadow Fist, Legend of the Five Rings, Magic. And it was awesome. Like, I spent so much time there. And it was like my second home. And the guy who owned it, he was like family to me, you know? So I went there for a long time, and I watched Wizards care less and less about LGSs, and I watched what it was doing to him, and the stress, and being stuck with garbage products, and it ate at me, bro. Like, for real, it's easier for me now to see what's going wrong with Magic now that he's dead and it can't affect him. For real. Like, for real. It's now that he doesn't have to see any of it and deal with any of it, I'm like, it affected me more because it was affecting him, right? So I probably care more than the average person. So bear in mind, I have the bias of somebody who like really, really loves LGSs. So anything that is anti-LGS, I'm pretty much going to be rabidly against, you know? So bear in mind, I have a heavy pro LGS mentality, and I really hate watching Wizards grind them down from one side and a greedy player base who doesn't care and is like coming in, hey, match Amazon prices, hey, give me promos, hey, let me play in your store for free. Actually, I basically expect you to pay me to play in your store by giving me things. Like, it's so twisted around from when I started, and we played Magic because we loved it, not because we were backpack financiers, but Wizards really did bake that financial mentality into their game because it benefited them, right? So, hey, Jerry M says GameStop should have fostered an LGS-style community and it would have boosted both parties and communities. Agreed. Jerry M, speaking the fucking truth. Hell yeah, buddy. Also, you're the new lord of the board. Millmaster's been put into a pumpkin and rolled down a hill. So yeah, I mean, I have like so many pleasant memories of LGSs and making friends there. And I know for a bunch of people, they're like, bro, I wouldn't like go and hang out in an LGS with those freaks and the way that they smell. And I can't argue that a lot of the people that I've met have been socially awkward weirdos. But that's never been a problem for me. The stink is a fucking issue for me. The stink is a problem. I like that. Like, you gotta cut the fans on to cut through the smell. That is never been. I've never just been like, oh, it's like anytime it smells and you can smell the people, I'm like, oh no, this is not okay. But like the rest of it, people who are weirdos, I get along with a lot of people. And it doesn't matter. Yo, if you're not that like socially outgoing, you don't gotta worry. I am. I'm gonna bring you in. So that's never been an issue for me. I'm a as much as I can be a dick too, I'm a really friendly guy who likes meeting new people, and I make people laugh and help them have a good time when they're playing games of Magic against me, right? So LGS is a special places to me. I like stumbling across them whenever I'm like in some new place and we walk by a place that looks like even has a hint of being an LGS, I'm going in. I'm checking it out, you know? Jerry, well, thanks for liking what I do, buddy. Appreciate it. Oh, Ciordi, you were falling out with Magic, but an LGS finally opened up in town after a decade. There you go. Go and have a good time. I need more good times with Magic to balance out. Like, I talk about what's going on with Magic. All the negative stuff, it weighs on me. Like, not heavily, because you can't let something about a game like that weigh on you heavily. You got to live life. You got responsibilities. But in my little inner world where the things that matter to me matter and the stuff outside is just the world for another time, watching what happens to Magic, it bothers me. It really does. Like on a deep level. I adore Magic the Gathering. The game has given so much to me, so many friends, so many great experiences. It's an ever-shifting puzzle where every card is its own individual story. Every card is a world of imagination all by itself. And there's so many. At the beginning there was so many, and now there's so many more. It's incredible. It's the best game ever made, hands down. It's amazing. And like, I want it to go on forever and ever. I want it to be awesome. I don't want Wizards of the Coast to like end up being forced to turn Magic the Gathering into the lifesaver storybook. That's the biggest fear that I have. Because Magic just means too much to me inside. What are you going to do? I have a problem that I tell other people not to have. Don't get too attached to something. Don't get so attached to something that it makes you like too emotionally reactive because it's not you. But like when you have enough memories and connections and elements that are all tethered to it and have come about through it, like in a way, obviously it just came about as well through my social nature and everything, but still, Magic has been an omnipresent part of it. And I can play music and I can tell you, like, okay, this is when I was living in Toronto. Rise of the Eldrazi was out. I remember specifically looking at some Eldrazi while I was down in the Toronto subway. I remember the yellow lines. I remember the smell. I can feel being there, the vibrations of the sun. Like Magic is interwoven in that way. I don't know, like back in the day, you ever go into like a restroom or whatever, and there's a bunch of urinals, and someone's standing like too close to you, so you're just like trying to ignore the fact that they're there and take a leak, but the fact that they're there is distracting you from taking a leak, so you need to pull your mind to something else. I would literally just start thinking about Magic cards. I'd start thinking, I'm like, how many Wrath of Gods do I have in my binder? You know, just like stuff like that. A certain Mike Super Chat says, many games need to remember that LGSs can make your game. It's hard to drive sales without them. Bro, LGS presence is huge. Look at Lorcana. Lorcana's actually been prioritizing. Oh yeah, you know what? I forgot. I have the ability to heart these, right? I have been. Good, okay. I didn't forget. I forgot that I didn't forget. All right. What was the point I was about to make? Oh yeah, Lorcana. Lorcana has made sure to get its presence into game stores. And it gave game stores precedence. It gave the LGSs precedence in terms of making sure that they had product before they were going to get it out to all the big box stores. That was the plan that they had. So doing stuff like that is the right way to go. I saw that people were playing Lorcana week over week at the game store, and as another indicator of things going well was the fact that I literally watched people purchasing $50 and $50, like $50, $55 singles from Lorcana. Like, this is me just hanging out in the game store and like, I'm not there to gather information. It just happens as a side effect. I'm by chat and doing whatever, or maybe I'm gathering information about Magic, not about Lorcana, but watching people come in and buy singles and just asking them questions about the game. Oh, seeing the Lorcana events that's going on while I'm there playing Magic and go, so Lorcana's pulling in some steady numbers that seem to be growing and staying stable, and they're not like churning a crazy amount of products, so they don't have to worry about breakneck pushing that way. And Magic just seems to be struggling for market share. I don't know, man. Again, I think part of it ties into the whole their average customer is like 30 to 35 now, and so they know their player base is aging out, and it's like making them freak out because Hasbro doesn't have it'd be fine if Magic was just staying there, but like Hasbro's lost all its properties. It's lost all its properties in terms of the kids. They don't care. Kids aren't playing with anything from Hasbro anymore. When like Hasbro used to have everything on lock. I had no idea how much of my childhood was built by Hasbro until I got older and went, whoa, okay. Well, that was them. Wow, okay. They made a lot of stuff that I liked. So yeah, LGS is, they're important. People playing your game, like, if Wizards just gets everybody online playing and nobody's going to LGSs anymore, they're not going to be selling physical cards anymore. And physical cards are where they make the lion's share of their money. They're desperate right now. They've got their CEO bragging about how Wizards of the Coast is great because they make such high margin products. Basically talking about how they can just squeeze crazy amounts of money out of us. But, I mean, it's drying up. It's drying up. Game stores are getting burnt more and more. Players are becoming more discerning, going, why would I buy a box of this? I don't even, this set doesn't connect with me at all. I'll just buy a couple of singles. And I don't know the numbers, but I'm guessing for every guy who's like, yeah, ding dong yeehaw, slap on the chaps and let's ride a tumbleweed at noon. Baka, 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 baka. I bet you for every one person who's like that, there's 2 or 3 going, well, I mean, I'm interested in what kind of game mechanics you have. So maybe I'll get a bit. And then there's at least 1 or 2 are like, yeah, no, I'm not interested in your Tombstone, whatever sort of Wyatt Earp. What? No, I don't know if you heard, but I'm playing Magic the Gathering where I'm a wizard and I'm a gigantic wizard who uses crazy magic powers. We don't need guns because we have fireballs and lightning and ice magic. Yeah, but pew, pew, pew and spurs, Tex. Oh. Okay. Yeah. I think that they should go and make cowboy movies where some of the cowboys have wands and they just show up and just go Wigglyarmus, and then the cowboys turn into snakes, and the snakes all wear party hats and squiggle out in 18 directions. Do you speak parcel tongue? I think that fits, and I think that would go over really well and would resonate with the fans of Westerns, right? This Western magic stuff is stupid. This is dumb. So is the Magic Death Race. That's crackhead. What kind of market research tells you that we should do a Magic Death Race across 3 planes in fucking monster cars? Who the fuck, how do you smoke that much meth and nobody stops you? What is going on? Loco, you're listing singles all night long. You got to move them fast because prices are going to tank. Yeah. CR, do you wonder how many players actually know that in the game you're wizards dueling? Well, I mean, I assume most people would. If you're casting spells, wouldn't you think you're a fucking wizard fighting another wizard? See, I don't expect people to automatically know you're a planeswalker, right? But yeah, you're casting spells. That, I don't know, saying how many people, it's well, if I'm let's say there's this game called volleyball and I play a card called serve. It's how many people know that they're actually the person playing volleyball? Come the fuck on, right? Come on. If you can read a magic card, you're smart enough to figure out that you're a wizard. The planeswalker part, that's what Wizards of the Coast says. They're what is it? 75% of our player base doesn't know what a planeswalker is, doesn't know this. And I'm these numbers just sound like an excuse to go, well, that means we shouldn't worry about anything because nobody's paying attention and we should just make commander cards. Yeah, fuck around and find out, you fucking morons. Commander was perfect at first. You know why? Because it was fan-made and naturally growing. Because Wizards only made one thing for it. And they didn't even start doing that until 2011. And they just made a commander deck where the commander deck was actually yo, do you play commander? Here's a deck with 30 or 40 rares. That'll be a lot of fun. Go for it. And it's oh, cool. All right, neat. You know what I mean? And that was it. Here's a little bit of commander. Run off, do your thing. We don't care. And then they started going more and more. It's all commander. Every card has to be for commander. Put commander cards in the pre-release kits. Go down to the pre-release and force them to build a commander. Get the cattle prods. Force them to build a commander deck. So this nice casual format that's about finding all these fun cards to play with. Check it out. All these cards didn't have a home anywhere else. We can have fun with all of them. And then it's just no, we're just going to keep making auto includes. Here's Arcane Signet. Do you like using a talisman? Do you only have one talisman? Not anymore. You don't need these talismans, do you? Check it out. Arcane Signet. It's just a 2-cost mana rock that taps for any color that you need. It's what? What's the downside? The downside is that we're going to power creep the shit out of your format. Have fun eating dicks as we outmode everything in your deck and then come up with extra crazy shit to put extra cards into Commander. The fuck do you think the idea is behind Companion? It's to make Commander into a 101 card format. What the hell do you think the idea is beside the learn outside decks? Wizards is just trying to wear Commander down. We'll keep making enough side things until eventually the Commander Rules Committee goes, everything's your problem. Rule 0 your mother's. Everything is everything. And then you can just have sideboards and you can have this, and Commander decks will be 700 cards and you'll be able to buy one card at a time for $92 for a secret layer, but it'll actually be $2 off because every single one will be fucking wrong because it'll be done by an AI, but the AI's been programmed that if you do it wrong, we can sell it to the misprint group. I can't wait until an AI just runs all of Wizards of the Coast. Like all of it. It's just one. Watsiotron has determined new magic cards will be $800 each. All right. I need more of my Barks root beer. I will be right back. I will be right back. Oh, cram it in the Commander. Don't manage the formats at all. What a stupid plan. Yeah, these dumb bastards ruined Standard, right? They constantly put a bunch of busted nonsense into it ever since they created the fire design. It's amazing that they're like, bro, we're calling it fire because you're supposed to be like excited, but really we just set the game on fire. And they totally did. And ever since then, they're like, balancing. Who cares about balancing? It just needs to pop and be crazy. And the cards in every set need to go into every format. And it's like, Standard literally can't support that, right? Standard, it's impossible. Like, Standard is the weakest format of all. And you're saying that the sets for Standard have to contain cards that are powerful enough to make it into older formats, which have a higher power level. So by necessity, you're going to create cards that are too strong for Standard. That's inherently going to be impossible to avoid. It's impossible to avoid. And then the problem gets compounded by the fact that they go, okay, here's the thing. We did make this crazy powerful mythic. We totally did, and it's totally ruining Standard. But we got to pretend that it's not until we've sold all the boxes and they're in distributor hands, and it's the stores and distributors' problems. Then we can be like, oh, bro, you know what, dude? We didn't realize that if we make a spell for 1 blue that lets you draw 7 cards and makes your opponent discard their hand and lose 10 life, like, we didn't realize that making that a Phyrexian mana you could pay for 2 life would have, like, everybody using it. So, for that reason, Dick Tickler is banned forever. Well, we look forward to a healthy and robust format that will be dominated by some other $100 mythic until we ban that due to having sold it. I mean, realizing that the format's become unsustainable. So it's all just done around that. And at the same time, they cannibalize all the LGS's players, like all of them. Wizards does this gross, disgusting, underhanded crap where they go, okay, so here's how it works. Normally, you have to have X number of people coming into your game store to hit the numbers to be part of Wizards Play Network, where they let you get pre-releases and the promos and stuff. They want to make sure people are coming out to play Magic. That makes sense. But then all of a sudden, some crazy worldwide event happens, and people can't come out to play Magic no more. So Wizards steps up and is like, yo, well, we're going to let people do Friday Magic at home thing, but like, here's the thing, game stores. You got to get people signing up on Arena. You got to get all your players playing digitally, or you don't get the numbers. And it's like, what? And it's like, yeah, we're counting Arena people now. Because they're thinking like, oh, this is going to be perfect, man. We're going to get like all these like standard players who are paying all this money to play paper Magic, now they're going to come on digital and we're going to get even more money from them. This is going to be epic, bro. We're like, this is going to be crazy. We're going to run the Pro Tour out of this. Like, this is going to make us so much money. Like, it's insane. Think about all the money we're making off paper plus this, bro, right? And so they're just churning along, and more people are going to Arena, and like people are getting free money, so they're buying boxes, and Wizards like, it worked, we're geniuses, nothing can stop us. And then reality's like, yo, so we're getting back to the world being the way that it was, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and open things back up. And so Wizards is like, hey, you know what we've noticed? Things have opened back up, but like, it doesn't seem like people are buying our standard set. Like, we've got these set boxes and draft boxes, and we got an awful lot of boxes sitting around, and it seems like fewer and fewer people are buying. Why? Why are we making like way less money selling it in paper? Because we don't make enough off this digital. Like, we need that paper money. What's going on? And it's like, something's wrong with standard. Why are people playing? And then they send out like one of their VPs to tweet, hey guys, so, you know, we have our own ideas internally as to why standard, like, but like, why do you think standard isn't like a thing and people aren't playing? And it's like, oh, I don't know, a super toxic format, plus the fact that it's like insanely expensive, and you guys drove everybody onto Arena, showing them that they don't have to go down to the game store. They can just take their pants off and play Arena for a bit and get a code and not give you any money. And so Wizards is like, so we make less than $100 off of like the average Arena player like in an entire year. We really need them buying cards. So they were like, Announcement! We're going to fix standard. So standard's 3 years now. We'll explain why that fixed standard later. And don't worry, we have other ideas too. Bye. And it's like, so you guys obviously went, we have so many unsold boxes that are about to leave standard. What do we do about it? So, you know, standard worked perfectly for decades with the 2-year rotation, and we had literally trained our entire customer base to accept this planned obsolescence on the regular. Well, yeah, let's now change that to 3 years. And like, problem fixed, guys. And it's like, so this toxic, poisonous standard environment where you let problems fester is going to have another entire year's worth of stuff churned into it. Yeah, but don't worry. We know there's been problems with ban messaging clearance from us before. So we're going to tell you right now, straight up, guy, that we're not really going to do bans at all. What? We're going to do bans like once a year, and then like maybe if something goes wrong when a set comes out, we'll ban something then. But we're only allowed to do it for like 3 weeks. And it's like, do you think that the biggest message you need to get out to people is that you won't ban their cards? You need to balance the formats and get the prices of your shit in check. Just changing it to 3 years ain't nothing. And then they came out and they're like, here's our plan to fix standard. Standard's 3 years now. Also, all the sets that we've got coming for a while weren't designed with this in mind, so it's gonna suck. And like, but this is all we can think. Please buy the boxes that are still standard legal. We gotta keep shifting them. We got a lot of boxes to shift. Like, you know, things went so bad that they grudgingly went, we can't sell set boosters and draft boosters. We gotta just do one. It's gotta be actually usable as a product people can play with. It's ridiculous. So now you've got a more stagnant standard format, and standard was like the gateway that would bring people into the game. Play standard for a couple of years or whatever. Are your cards rotating? Great opportunity to look at other formats, shift into those, while also playing standard with your friends and still going to Friday Night Magic. But Wizards went, no. Ugh. Come play Magic online and that on Arena. And then they went, and don't worry, if your cards rotate, they go into Historic, you can have fun with them. And then they went, here's Alchemy. What's that? It's forced rotation. I mean, it's the perfect balancing mechanic for a format. We never will need to ban cards in this format. No card will ever need to be banned in Historic. That's the great thing about this format. We can fix any card that's a problem. No card will ever need to be banned. Announcing a ban in Historic. Come again? Yes, we're banning Grinning Ignis. I gotta read the logic on this. Okay, guys, so listen. Grinning Ignis is part of a combo, and we have to stop that combo. But if we were to change Grinning Ignis, it would stop the combo. So to stop the combo, we're banning Grinning Ignis. Go read it if you don't believe me. That's what it says. It's this circular logic bullshit where you read it and go, you literally just said if you changed the card, it would stop the combo. And then we'd still get to keep the card. But the reason it went this way is there was 2 rare cards that were part of a combo using it, and it was uncommon. So it cost money to have a programmer go and change the code. That's why they banned it, right? If it was the rares, they changed the rares, they have to give you rare wild cards. If they ban Grinning Ignis, they have to give you uncommon wild cards. Uncommon wild cards are worthless. Rare wild cards, they sell you directly for dollars now. So, like, alchemy is a lie that was specifically intended to avoid giving you wild cards and fuck you up into rotating and obsoleting whenever they feel like it. It's a manipulation tool. And then when people freaked out and went, fuck you, you told us we would have this non-rotating format. They went, we hear you. After a bunch of people left, because in their arrogance, they just thought they could pull it off. It's better, we're Hearthstone now. Fuck you, play it and give us money. So in their arrogance, they were just like, whatever. And then a bunch of people left. And they literally like, we're sorry. We're going to create a non-rotating format. We promise. But it's going to take 6 years, which is them just lying. It's lies. 6 years is these idiots will forget. And if we do build one, we'll just go, oh, we did studies that said they want alchemy in there, so alchemy's in there. Haha, fuck you. Oh, people left. Oh, shit, sorry, we'll build another one. They're so fucking arrogant. And they just fucking lie to us, bro. Ned, yep, the LGSs were like a huge factor. The Friday Night Magic, all of it, keeping people in the cycle of playing Standard. But Wizards didn't support Standard, didn't care about Standard because they were just like, Standard's an arena format. And then they went, we're not making like nearly any of the money we were. But we just want to put in no effort designing bullshit sets with garbage cards and printing them to the shittiest standards ever. But hey, you know what? Honestly, the whole free play arena thing becomes more and more appealing to me. Where I'm just like, in terms of, yeah, fuck you, Wizards. I don't really feel like giving you much in the way of money, right? Not until you change things. Not until something good comes along. Markdown manner, somebody called it. I like that because that's accurate. That's what it's going to be. It's bargain bin garbage. Wizards gets to sell it for top dollar, and LGSs get fucked. Like 100%. 100%. But yeah, I mean, just like people choosing to play arena. When I'm talking about arena, people choosing to play arena over going and like getting into physical Standard, it makes me laugh. Makes me laugh now. I hear about it from the fucking LGS owner, where it's like, wow, Wizards is really fucked up, man. Didn't used to be that way. People didn't walk in and go, hey, I built this deck online and I'd like to play it in the tournament. Can I get some Sheoldreds? Yeah, they're $90 each. What? Yeah, no, this is the fucked up economy that Wizards built for this game, and it's nightmarish. So if you're just accustomed to just dicking around and whatever online, then yeah, like you're gonna definitely want to go back to that, because just one card for your deck is going to cost as much as a AAA game. Like, you want a Sheoldred? Okay, Baldur's Gate 3. You want a Sheoldred? Okay, brand new Grand Theft Auto, right? You want another one? Taking your family out to a couple of meals. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, but what? You mean this throwaway mobile game that I play for flimsy cardboard printouts? I just want to make sure I understand. Like, I see like you got all these different games over here, like this game right here has 104 different cards in it, and like hero cards and all this, and it's like, what, $20, right? So you got this, and oh, look at that, 80 cards in there. What do you got in here? 65 cards, and these are all $20, and I can just play the whole game out of the box. But if I want to play with flimsy little poorly printed cardboard rectangles for this game in particular, I have to spend $90. Yeah, or you can get ones that look better for like a quarter online. What? Yeah, no, there's like, you go on like these sites and they make them in China or whatever. They actually look better than the original, and you can get a whole deck for maybe like $10, bro. Like you can't play it here though, because you can't use. No, it's not a real Magic card. You can't use it in official tournaments. Not official, you know. But in every way, shape, or form, you can get your entire deck for a fraction of one card. Welcome to physical Magic. It feels like a scam if you're coming from Arena. I mean, it feels like a scam. Let's be real. Current Magic is a fucking scam. It is. I love the game. That's what's kept me here. All right. All right. I'm not Stockholmed because clearly I'm not singing Wizards praises, but. So yeah, people coming in and going, $90 for a card? Yeah, or you could buy a box for $200 and like maybe get one in there and a bunch of other crap you don't want. Don't worry. They do this thing called track printing where they actually mathematically make sure that the worst cards show up more frequently algorithmically. And if there's like a particular uncommon that's super exciting to you, they do the same thing with those. So you can totally buy a box under the illusion, like if you love being lied to and thinking you have a chance of getting something, grab yourself a booster box, right? Still better chances than a lottery ticket. But yeah, Paper Magic is, it's scam-a-lama ding-dong levels, right? Like the Nazgul all sharing the same slot in the packs. That's not an attempt to make rare uncommons. The rarity symbols are accurate indicators of the chance you have of getting the cards. They're definitely not like any kind of discrepancy between them. It's definitely not like there's actual mathematical formulas that show you, oh, straight up, here's the track printing A, B, C, and D they did for, I don't know, Return to Ravnica, Dragon's Maze, Avacyn Restored, and they definitely didn't make software based on those mathematical predictions that could literally tell you what was in the boosters from boxes, because that never happened. And I never mapped out tons of boxes myself just to see if it worked, and I was astounded to see, yeah, it does. Absolutely does. Track printing is very much real. And yeah, if you've ever wondered, how come I keep getting 3 or 4 copies of the worst rare? It's because when it comes to track printing, they'll be like, okay, split them across A, B, C, and D. And we'll put the worst ones in D. We'll print the D track 20% more than A, B, and C tracks. And we'll also add 3 extra copies of the worst rare to the print sheet and insert them. So they know what is the biggest want rare in the set. And they intentionally work the numbers so that you have them showing up more frequently. It's not a feeling, it's a fucking mathematical fact, right? And there used to be tons of people who would get together, map this stuff out, and provide all the information. But the apps got taken down off the App Store, and they stopped doing it publicly. And now there are private groups that still map out boxes. They sit there and figure it all out. They aggregate the information, map it out, and sell the loose packs that have been mapped. Understand that depending on where you buy loose packs from, they've absolutely been mapped, which means you're not going to get anything good from it unless it's a pack from 5 years ago and some jank rare all of a sudden is some big deal because of a combo. Like, you got to be careful of that shit. I kept my mapped packs separate because it's like, I ain't going to skis people. And it's also fun to toss people booster packs and tell them exactly what's in it. Boom, right? And then I traded the rest of them off to somebody for their Diablo account, where they're like, I want to get back into Magic. And I want to open boosters and have fun with my friends with them. But I don't want to spend a lot of money. So I was like, okay, I have mapped Dragon Maze packs, okay? Dragon Maze is not a set that people like. And mapped means I've taken the packs that have the best rares. So these are like jank level rare packs that you're going to be getting, right? But I don't care. I'll swap a whole stack of them to you for your Diablo account. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Ned, is YouTube glitching you again, buddy? Bobby, drafts hardly ever fire your LGS. The only time I see drafts happening is like the week the set comes out, maybe. And now it just seems like the pre-release. And the pre-release numbers for this event were down. There were fewer people going out. I've had, there was like one person reported that their pre-release was packed the entire time. I have no idea what that means because I don't know what their numbers are or anything. But it's not everybody who's saying that it didn't do well. So I think there might be particular pockets where it's done well or whatever. I have no idea. Maybe there's just some people who like really love playing Magic with their friends there. Maybe it's a game store that has like a dozen people and they're all real close knit. I have no idea. But overall, this set is terrible. And overall, LGSs are getting fucked. Okay. All right. Well then, welcome back. I guess the auto renewal just auto renewed. That works. That works. After last time, I wasn't going to make any assumptions and be wrong. Overall, Clue is not Magic. Yeah, absolutely. There is no real dovetailing between Magic and Clue at all. Clue is a murder mystery, and Magic is magic. And they went, we're going to put Clue into it, and to make it feel like Clue, we're just going to do like a regular murder mystery. There's very little actual magic that has any real effect. Wizards' choices with everything about this is baffling. Do you know that they just released the 6th installment of the story today? But this is the 6th installment for the second fucking time. Like, I don't understand it. So the video comes out. Like, here's how it goes now. They put out the lore. Okay? They put out the lore. And with each installment, they put out an audiobook version of the lore where you can just listen to it. And I was like, well done. You actually took the time before, like, to make sure this was done in time for it so that people who don't want to, like, read it can listen to it, right? I also, when I see that shit, go, fuck. The more that kind of stuff happens, definitely the fewer viewers that Fantasy Geographic will end up with, because there'll be some people who are just straight up, well, I already heard it over there, who cares? You know what I mean? And Wizards has it first, but that's what they should be doing, and that's what they should have been doing all along, right? So seeing that, I went, that's a smart choice. Good job, guys. That's smart. And then I saw today, wait, they released part 6, but the story finished releasing last month. Why are they releasing part 6? And I clicked on it, and this is one where it has a video with images accompanying it and text on the screen to go with the audio. So all they had to do was have the person editing it the first time when they made the audiobook version, just do the visuals then, and you don't make it twice or whatever. Or they're just uploading it on YouTube later so they can drive traffic to their website. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe it's the exact same thing and they're putting it up later. And you know what? I'm going to go and look. I'm going to go and look and double check right now because I actually have that ability. That's the easiest way to figure this out. I'm going to go and see if it's just the audio because I feel like that's what it was, but I could be wrong. Okay, so we click on this. And yeah, it's the podcast. It's an audio podcast where they just read it to you. So it's already like an audiobook of it. And now they're on day 6 of releasing the videos, and they're doing so fucking poorly. Because anybody who wants that stuff is has already gotten it. They've already watched it, right? Like fucking either through Aether Hub, Arcanum, or myself, just as 3 options, not even including other people. Oh yeah, that's right. For a second, I forgot that I was going to their specific channel. I don't really like their new logo. Okay, so they put out the 6th installment of the story like 12 hours ago, and it has 800 views. That's abysmal numbers for a channel with almost 600,000 subscribers, right? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Certain, what gets you is you got 2 pre-releases, you got no clue tokens, but 4 art cards and 2 ads. All right. Defying them odds, huh? Yeah, Rumbler, bro, I feel you. It does just kind of feel like they don't have any final checks and balances on a bunch of this because stuff keeps sliding through. CRD, that's right. People have been mentioning, they're just like, bro, the story would have been better if you didn't, like in the original, like little intro video you made, if you didn't show us who the killer was. Candyland and Eldraine would have been an acceptable tie-in. Well, they did already have all those like sweet tooth people and whatever, and I actually thought it would have been more fun to explore all that. I feel like we got robbed of whatever the original Eldraine story was going to be, right? Because they clearly changed everything around. Neva, who's literally in story spotlight cards, Neva shows up in the story. Ashiok does nothing in the written story when it turns out that Ashiok actually like invades Eldraine and Will like rallies the defense and fights them, but they're like, that's not what this is about right now. Get in the back, Will. You're not doing this. You get in the back. We're doing this. Rowan is gonna be the apprentice to this witch story, and it's gonna be not nearly as satisfying. And we're gonna have Hilda, who's an evil witch who's responsible for the death of a whole bunch of people. The corpses are piled around her castle. But you know what? She feels bad about it. So I guess we just let her live. And then Kellen also doesn't care about finding out who his dad is. But he cares enough to keep going from world to world. Okay. The first Eldraine set was so much better. It had like such cool flavor. It had an awesome story to it. And it had some really crazy dark aspects to it too, which I enjoyed quite a bit. Quite a bit. Like really. The Throne of Eldraine story was a lot of fun. You know what? I don't have that one on. Maybe at some point I'll cover that on Fantasy Geographic. I know in a few days we're going to get the mystery stuff done. So in like 4 or 5 days, the murder mystery stuff will be done. And then Wizards will put out the final installment that is the next step for the Markov Manor story, which I expect to just be something stupid that, like, there was an almond portal, and Oka was like, I smell gun smoke. What is that? And then he just gallops, yeehaw, through the portal. Oh no, a lasso comes through the almond path. Whoop, 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 Kellen, what is this? No. Yeah, partner, get some sarsaparilla. What up, Al? Yeah, Carly's new Kirby hat's great. Magic's 2030's entire set is one badly rendered pickle made by AI. An AI pickle. But they'll deny that it's AI. Don't deny the AI. Jace with a hat and a horse. Yeah, they just painted a bunch of crap on the... Bro, they have like this... They have this steam elemental in Ravnica. And they just painted a little hat on it. They just painted a little hat on it. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Just put Capetta out together. Hey, I'm a detective. I detect that I'm gonna waste your time. I detect that you're annoyed by me wasting your time. Man. So yeah, it's rough times for LGSs, bro. Rough times indeed. Wizards pulling a bunch of skis that I can't get down with. But hey, on the upside, I found a shopping cart when I was out on my journeys. So I returned it for this quarter. So I'm up a quarter, son! Hey! There we go. Pop that knee. So I fell for it. I fell for trying like the... You know, remember how, I don't know how many streams ago it was, I talked about the Wagyu beef, the Wagyu beef or whatever, and they're like, We got Wagyu beef. When I just went, bullshit you do. Like you have Wagyu beef. It's this super exotic beef that's so expensive. And it's like, then why is it not? Like they're selling the burgers, the Wagyu burgers. And it was expensive. There was like 4 burgers in the box for $16. And that's expensive, but I know that it's not Wagyu or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like burger. But I wanted to know if it was any good. I was like, well, it's not going to be the thing they say it is. But I also don't know what the thing they say it is like. So it's not like I'm going to feel like I'm eating some knockoff version because I don't even think it's that thing. I just think it's burgers. So I'm going to try it. So I got them and we had them. And I said to Carly, I'm like, that wasn't a bad burger, but I don't think I could tell the difference between that and any burger for real. So I think that I could have just bought a pack of regular burgers for way less and had the exact same experience. And I think I totally got hosed. That's like 4 bones of patty, bro. I got butt cheek patty caked on that one. $4 a pop. No, sir. No, sir. 4 bags, not full. Al! Thanks for the super chat, buddy. Let me give you a heart on that. Let me give you a heart on that. Let me get my heart on that. Yeah, it gets starts to sound a little questionable. Jerry, see, technically it is. That's the kind of stuff I figured it was in a technical sense. Legally, we can use the name. They crossbreed the cows. So it's just crap bag regular cows. But like one of their great granddaddies got porked by a Wagyu. They were allowed to have 1 cup of Wagyu essence and they used it and they've just been like interbreeding them and now I can get butt cheek slapped for $4 a patty. I got Wagyu'd. 1 in 4 Wagyu patty packs comes with a foil one. But they're all curled. They don't cook right. Thanks, Pierce. Technically, any hamburger meat raised in Japan is Wagyu. Could be the grossest cow on the island. There! You know what, man? That's the kind of crap. When I was talking about it a few days ago, or whenever it was, when I saw the package, I was like, it's probably just some legal term, like they can just say that it's that because of where it's from or whatever, but it doesn't mean anything. And it's just, they can just technically, legally get away with it because that's what corporations do. So that feeds into my biases. And since that feeds into what I already think, I'm going to do absolutely no research and take what you've said as absolute truth because it's convenient for me. And that's what we do these days. What up, Callaway? How you doing, buddy? Full Wagyu is strange and it tastes like beef fat. Oh, gross. I don't like the gristle. I don't like the fat. For real. For real. The stuff that other people eat on steaks, I cut off and push to the side of the plate. When I'm done a steak, there's still a fair bit of that steak left on the plate, as I have with surgical precision removed all the steak meat that I wanted and left that weird gross fat behind because ew. You feel that slimy grossness in your mouth? Like, bro, I'm here eating like good like cow meat. I don't need a slug to slide in there or whatever this is, man. It's like a rotten grape just burst its load in my mouth, man. Ugh. Yeah. No, thank you. So yeah, they probably added leftover Wagyu fat to it. Hey, Brig, now you're thinking like a corporate scumbag? That's it. That's a good one. That's a good one. Grin, you deleted Arena as soon as you realized it was Hearthstone and not Magic. Yeah, you ain't gonna get a 1-to-1 Magic experience from it. That's for sure. The appeal of Wagyu is the fat marbling. Yeah. But on ground beef, it's pretty wasted. Fair enough. Fair enough. Juglum, you're not eating a Wagyu burger? I bet you would. I bet you would. I feel like somebody could come up with a hamburger bun and clearly their dick tip sticking out. And you'd be like, when in Rome, you only live once. Huh? What up, David? How's it going? Many cheese products are made of edible plastic. I am made of edible plastic. So I just like meat in my mouth? That's right, Pierce. If you think you're going to trick me by saying meat in my mouth, like I'm just going to say I like uncircumcised throbbing meat in my mouth, it's not going to happen on my watch, son. You're not going to trick me into saying that, right? So, nice try, bitch! Callaway, what's the latest wizardly fail? Printing a counterspell as a sorcery instead of an instant. Making a set so terrible that LGSs just start returning it to the distributor and eating a loss on it because it's better than having it. It's better to just lose some money than be stuck with this garbage. Ew, cook it for 2 seconds and nearly eaten raw. Ugh. I don't want like my steak cooked to like leather consistency, full on well done, but I'm not interested in just like chewing on a raw cow, man. Not down for it. I'm not down for it. Light keeps flickering. I gotta replace some of the bulbs, that's why. I think one of them's on half duty. Oh, the world is full of dumb nonsense, man. Oh, some of the stuff I've seen today. Oh. It's paper thin and super weird. Weird. You know what's not super thin that I want to try? They've got, I have no idea how real, authentic it's going to be. Again, no, I haven't had the real deal to compare, but they've got like a Boston, is it Boston? Chicago, is it? Deep dish pizza. You know the pizza where it looks like it was designed by an insane person? Like a normal pizza just kind of looks like a plate. And there's a layer of like tomato sauce and cheese and pepperoni, bacon, that goodness, right? But like a deep dish pizza apparently has like the same amount of crust underneath, but then there's a soup on top. So it's like a pizza that's impossible to eat and will just spill all over the edge, and then you just eat a flap. That's how I picture it. That's the only thing I can think happening with that. And there's a place that sells them. They're like, we do gourmet, whatever. And I made a note of it. And I was thinking, I want to go there one day. I want to try it. Like, they cost like twice what a normal. I think they charge like 25 bones, but whatever. Like, I thought of it and was like, I want to try that one day. And then Carly a couple days ago was like, yo, we should go to this place one time as like a nice treat. And then she's like, we're talking. She's like, we're going to actually drive by it on the bus because we were out on the bus. And then she pointed to it and I'm like, I think that's the exact same place that the thing I wanted to try. So we're both actually wanting to try the same thing. So yeah. I don't know. I gotta see it. I gotta see it. What up, chum? What big topics did you miss? You missed a big long rant about LGSs and what Wizards is doing to them. You know what? Here, I will do you a favor and get you the link for the live stream archive, because what's gonna happen is when we're done here, the video's gonna, like, this stream's gonna be uploaded over there. So if you want to go through it or whatever and actually hear all the craziness, you'll have that opportunity. Oh, hey, sweet. We're up to like 928 subscribers over there. We're getting closer to the 1,000 every day that we need to get into the YouTube partnership program. All right. Stream archive. There we go. It should do it. All right. So yeah, you can use that link. That's where a lot of the live streams end up afterwards. So this one has a whole bunch of LGS talk and some other things. A lot of ranting, because ranting about Magic is a lot of what I do lately. people are like, all he does is say bad things. And it's like, first of all, technically I don't. But so much of what I say is bad. And I've been doing it for so long that I can't blame anybody who actually feels that way. Do you know what I mean? I'm still here like, no, I love magic and I want it to get better. But I understand how for other people, it's just kind of like, you just seem like you hate it. But I don't. I love the game. I want Wizards to be nicer to it, you know? Oh, hey, nice. Some of you guys went and subscribed to the stream channel. Thanks. Yeah, exactly, Jerry. Wizard stops making bad decisions like that. Like, they don't have to be doing perfect, but you notice the more things they started doing wrong, the more I started talking about it, right? A Magic 30 signaled a real big flashpoint for that. What up, Study? You got a question if I'm able to give insight? I mean, it depends. There's so many different things in life, right? Like, I'm not going to be able to help you decide between two women which one you want to be your wife, or like, it's probably better to Google something else if you want to learn about condensation. But I mean, if your question is something like, how do socks feel on your feet? I am definitely qualified to answer questions of that nature. So you can ask, but I can't promise that I'll answer or even notice the question. Because that has happened before. Hey, can I ask you a question? Should have started with it because you already caught my eye and there's a bunch of people in here and sometimes stuff flies by. So people, can I ask you a question? I'll be like, sure, go ahead. And then later on, I'll be like, didn't somebody want to ask me a question like half an hour ago? I'm like, I missed it. Sometimes the chat moves fast. Sometimes it moves slow. Sometimes my brain moves fast. Sometimes it moves slow. So it's all a crapshoot. Mugo, why do you want to hear about socks now? I don't know. Because you fucking jerk off to Dobby from Harry Potter? It's not up to me to decide why you want to hear about things. You fucking decide why you want to do things, okay? Go fucking tug it to Dobby, all right? I don't care. Go put a fucking sock on your knobby. How do you track data on pre-order amounts and volume? Oh, I don't have charts, man. I don't have charts. I just go off of information gleaned from a bunch of different sources, right? Sometimes it's just as simple as looking at what's kicking around in stores. I know multiple people who own LGSs in person, and then there's lots of people who randomly contact me with information online. So sometimes you gain information by what's present, and sometimes you gain information by what's absent. Like when something is like, wait a minute, this is missing now. But yeah, I don't have anything useful, concrete to hand over to you. So there you go. And like in terms of figuring an actual print run, there's no way to concretely do it. Wizards tends to keep those numbers close to the vest, right? But you can take things like the amount of serialized cards. Like there's a conversation going on specifically. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I would say here's what you want to do. Go over to the MTG Finance Reddit, and there is currently an ongoing conversation that's, it's probably, I'm guessing, 3 or 4 days old at this point. I don't remember exactly when I saw it. But they're talking about how the serialized cards for this set are about 18 times less common than the serialized cards from previous sets. And they're doing that by basically estimating what the print run size is. So they've got all the numbers that they used to make their assumptions over there. I didn't really look that deeply into it because it wasn't a subject that like, I just went, let's take a look at this. I'm like, well, interesting if it's true, but ultimately it doesn't really change my opinion on serialized cards. I still think that they're just a waste. There's nothing really special about them. It's just, here you go. These are just regular Magic cards you could have without these numbers, but we put these numbers on and get to tell you, well, we only printed 500 with numbers. I mean, unless you got a meme number, right? Like 420. Somebody bought one of my fucking hoodies today exactly at 420. That was awesome. It was awesome. Just randomly happened to look at my Teespring analytics and see, wait a minute, somebody picked up a hoodie today at exactly 420. So yeah, unless you got a meme number and you like it, like serialized stuff is, Uh, Something called cardboard finance. I think that's just like people saying like Magic the Gathering finance, because Magic the Gathering is cardboard. You know, like how I say fine luxury cardboard rectangles. You know what I mean? Cardboard in that regard. So I think that's them just talking overall, generally, about the concept of Magic the Gathering finance, as opposed to specifically like there is this cardboard finance thing. You know what I mean? Maritimus, you missed 69 months. Oh, see, there you go. Speaking of meme numbers, you missed 69 with your membership message. Well, you know what? That's my fault. I got really, really sick. I got really, really sick and wasn't around, so you didn't really have... Like, you only had a few days in the month to show up, maybe even make it happen, because I got sick for weeks, so that's on me. That's on me. Certain Mike, you got one yesterday? Cheers. Cheers. Hey, what's up, Bo Falcon? How you doing, buddy? Man, yeah. Things have gotten rough for LGSs. That is the truth, man. That's the truth. Oh, is it a screenshot of something? Then nope. I got literally nothing for you. Literally, you know what? Best place to go? Go over to that Reddit group I just mentioned. You can literally ask. Just ask them if you're looking for whatever. That might help you. Because this is a dead end. David, how did my Lotus pin sales go? Oh, the Black Lotus coin? That wasn't mine. I didn't make it or nothing, right? That's the coin company made those, right? Like this right here. This is what I assume we're talking about, right? The silver Black Lotus coin in this dope ass wooden box. I gotta say, from start to finish, this was fantastic. In terms of sponsorships, absolutely loved it. 100%. 100%. Because, like, for real, however many years ago, before I did YouTube, I got myself the J Silver coin because I thought it was really cool. And at the time, I also was making my living selling Magic cards, running Magic tournaments and stuff. So I liked the fact that, like, it was money with Magic on it because it, like, hey, I make my money from Magic. Neat. You know what I mean? That's the kind of vibe. And I think this might have been when I was going to college too. But anyways, the silver coin Magic thing I always thought was really neat. So they contacted me and they were like, hey, we're doing like a Black Lotus Magic coin. And we were just thinking like we could send you one out and you could talk about it. Right. And I was just like, yeah, totally. Like that was the whole conversation. It was kind of funny where it was just straight up like, hey, we were thinking about doing this. And I'm like, yeah, we should totally do that. And they're like, okay, cool. Can we have your address? And I'm like, yup. And like normally there's way more to it. Like they literally would just like, will you show people that you have this? And then like they're like, all right, we sent it to you. And then the guy who sent it was like, hey, can you like show it off in like can you like mention it earlier? Like before it shows up, can you mention it in a video or do a video on it? And I said, I don't think that's a good idea. I think that we should wait until I have it because I think that people will respond better to seeing it and me talking about it and all that. And I was just like, and also I didn't have any intention of doing multiple videos talking about it because I was just like, here's the deal. I get the coin. All I got to do is tell you guys that I got the coin. And I was like, that's it. I'm happy. I want the coin. And if you guys want to grab one, sweet. There's the link because the coin's dope. The box is dope, right? Like this coin is twice as big as the Jace coin, right? It's cool, man. It's fat, honker, thick boy. Like this is a cool coin. And yeah, bro, I just wanted it. Like a magpie. I just wanted it. Because I like it. And it's nice to have things you like. So, yeah, they just sent it out. And I said I was going to, what's it called? I'll put it in the video when I get it, and I'll tell people what's going on. And I put that in the video, and there was a few people who were like, bro, I don't think that's a good deal. And then there was like somebody who got like really angry and was just like, you have lost your integrity and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I always liked these. And like, I said that I got sent this, and I said that if anybody buys it, I get a commission. Like, I literally said everything. I'm like, if I hit it all, then yeah, sure, okay. But anyways, right? The whole thing went awesome, like from start to finish. They kept track of everything. A bunch of people wanted coins, so they grabbed them. So all of a sudden, I get an email saying, oh, hey, you're actually going to get commission. Because I've had multiple things happen that would involve commission if they went well, but they didn't, so I didn't. Like, for example, the awesome Magic Historian pins. I love these pins, but I will never see a dime, because these pins are not, this whole thing, it fell apart. It didn't work properly, any of it. So basically I was contacted, and they're like, I don't know if I'm going to break even on this. So there's not going to be any commissions. And I said, well, I got some pins out of it, and the people who wanted pins got pins. So it sucks that you're not really going to get to make bank off of this, and I sure hope that you break even. Like, multiple people have contacted me about doing different Magic Historian things, and I have said in some cases no. In other cases I say, look, it's not guaranteed that any of this is going to work out, and like, don't put anything into this thinking that like people enjoy what I do, but not a ton of people are going to buy anything because it's my merch. So if you're just looking and going like, if only one out of every 10 of his viewers, no, you're not going to be able to sell thousands and thousands of something with my branding. It's not possible, right? So that kind of like, so I just try and keep everybody's expectations on the same level. My favorite thing to do is just deal with companies where they make the product, I brand the product, they handle everything, making it, shipping it. If there's any problems, returns, all of it, they do all that. I'm hands off because I don't want to be running like a merchant, right? And then I get my own little cut of it. That's it. Just here you go. Here's your little commission. But there's been a bunch of times where I've gotten into something like that and it hasn't really turned in anything. And the commission will be like, you have $6 in commission, but we don't pay out unless you have $50 in commission. So you just never get paid. And I just go, whatever, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, am I going to cry? So it's the way it goes. So I wasn't expecting like the coin thing. I'm like, I got my coin. I don't know if people are going to get it, whatever happened. People got the coin, and it was enough where it was like, oh, you're going to hit commission threshold thing. And it's like, sweet. And then they paid me out so fast. Like, they paid me in like 2 weeks. I was sick when they sent me the payment, and I didn't cash it because I was sick. I was waiting. And they emailed me like a little bit later going, hey, we already sent it to you. Did you get it? Are there any problems? Can we help you at all with this? You did great. Like, the whole thing was just positive, helpful, fast, low amount of red tape, bureaucracy kind of crap between me and the sponsor, which I love. I hate the more like levels of different people that need to be CC'd and met with and back and forth, the more likely I am to just go, I don't want it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Everybody's different, right? Bo, you enjoy the pins? They're not right next to your computer? Nice. I keep mine here in front of my computer too. So yeah, man, I like all the different kind of different things that you can have. Like, it's cool. I think it's really awesome that people have Magic Historian gear, like my gear. That makes me happy. Somebody left a comment saying they were on a cruise. Somebody else saw their Magic Historian stuff and came up and started talking about Magic or whatever. So it's just like, hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. George, you're down for a pin? I don't think you can get them anymore. I didn't make them. I don't sell them. I don't have any of my merch. Like, I don't physically possess any of my merch aside from like the prototypes and stuff I get sent. So I have the pins because I got sent the pins. I have this deck because I got sent the deck. Like, all of it. Everything I have is limited, and it's just what I got for being involved with it. But I'm not like a smart businessman. Like, you know how Rudy buys a whole like bucket loads of shirts, and then I don't know, he's getting some kind of great deal and then selling them for a nice fat profit. I'm not doing any of that. I just have my designs on Teespring, and people can get their stuff from them, and I get a little cut, and that makes me happy because I don't want to deal with any of it. So when I showed up at the one face-to-face convention, people were like, "Hey man, did you bring like merch, like shirts I can buy and stuff?" And like being asked that, it genuinely stunned me for a second, where I'm like, I literally didn't think for a second anybody would want to buy anything from me while I was at this event. I'm just here to muck about and talk to people and just like, that's what I'm here for. I didn't think for a second about selling anything, man. You got 8 Plays Dave. He knows what's up, bro. He had his own custom sleeves. Like, he had boxes of them for sale. He had all this stuff, man. He had a little game you could play if you followed him on social media. That guy knows what he's doing when it comes to like just convention stuff, right? So he's doing it right. I was just the guy at a table just talking to people. Break stop. I'd say it's possible, but I don't know for sure. The body pillow thing, I don't know. I haven't talked to that company in a while, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. I had kind of, I mean, let's be real, me getting sick threw a monkey wrench in that, but at the same time, I expect they're probably still gonna want to send me a custom body pillow to get me to do a video on it. So that's so, just saying it, like, I have to do it, right? I have to do it. Like, I have to do a video where they send me a custom body pillow, and I have to make an 8-minute video with it. And once I got the pillow, there's nothing they can do if they don't like the video. But that's on you. You can't make an abomination, send it to a madman, and then not get what you get, right? I should just subvert everybody's expectations and make an incredibly boring body pillow video where it's just like, he's just like, you can do this with it. And then it's just me doing a bunch of normal things and the body pillow's beside me. You can drink a cup of tea with it and then just put it on the couch beside me, not pay any attention to it, do nothing funny, and drink a cup of tea for like 2 fucking minutes of the video. Just a total like, fuck you. What are you going to do? Complain about the video? Too bad you can't have the pillow back. I already fucked it. Not in the video. Just for myself. Right? You know what would be funny to do with it? Play a game of, like, have it show you playing a game of Magic with somebody, and then when you win the game, your opponent just drops their cards. They're like, I give up. I can't win. And then, like, across the table, the body pillow's there, and it's like, I was a pillow all along. Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to write it. I'm going to write it on the list. Teal, you want a My Bones Hurt shirt? Oh, well, you know what? There are My Bones Hurt options in the merch shop. Oh, Bull Falcon, he's got the link. Thanks, buddy. Oh, did I not pin my archive link? Hold on. Let me go back and do that. Where is it? Where is the stream archive link? There it is. I meant to pin that. But the problem is, when you first type a comment in and you want to pin it, you can't, because the way that the streaming software is set up in YouTube is it'll put your comment directly into the box there, but there's a little like heart icon where I can heart the stream, I guess is what it does. So I can 100% the stream by clicking on it, but it gets in the way of the dots that allow you to select to pin it. So I have to wait a little bit until my comment moves up and then remember to pin it, and I keep forgetting. I continue to forget. But yeah, that's the link for the Hatcher Stream Archive. All the links, all the streams that are worth streaming end up over there. Okay, so let me write down body pillow inquest. Because I told them I'd get back to them when I was ready, and I think it's probably been a couple months, so who knows? Who knows? Either way, they contacted me originally and said they wanted to do it on my other channel, so I don't know. I don't know. The hardest part is going to really be just deciding what the pillow looks like, right? That's going to be the most challenging part, I would say. You can remove the annoying heart face thing in the chat. You can? I don't know. David, you didn't know you could get luxury cardboard rectangle merch? Yeah, I will admit, I am really bad at promoting and mentioning my gear, right? Like there's Magic Historian playmats. The playmat that I use when I do openings, you can get a Magic Historian playmat. There are technically Magic Historian sleeves. I don't think the link is up anymore because I think I might have just taken it out because they're so expensive and I don't think people are going to buy them. So I guess I don't remember if they're even in there anymore. But there's there's definitely the playmat, and then there's all the other stuff as well. But they're through different links. I think it's part of the chat options on channel settings. Interesting. Oh, whatever. I'll figure it out. I'll take a look at that later. At this point, it only messes me up when I'm pinning a link, so it's not a big deal. What up, Donovan? How you doing? All right, well, I just noticed the time. It has been nice chilling with you, my friends, but I must be going. So, thanks for being here. Stay safe, because, oh, no, what is it? I can put my arm back on. You can't. Play safe, all right? Anyways, unfortunately, there won't be another one tomorrow because I just died.